Hi everybody, Matt Bernier here in the Daily Racing Form Studios, joined by DRF's national handicapper Mike Watchmaker. We're taking a look at this Saturday's Weekend Warrior for March the 4th, a huge day of racing down at Gulfstream Park. We've got two races that we'll go over coming from there. Let's start off with the big one, the main event, race number 13 on the 13-race card. It's the Grade 2 Fountain of Youth, $400,000 the purse, a mile and 16th on the main track. Obviously, Mike, it's a prep for the Kentucky Derby, but it's the local prep for the Florida Derby. You can go a number of ways in here, but you're going to go to Gunnevera, who's just a rock-solid hitter.
Well, I'm going with Gunnevera, Matt, because, I just think this race sets up better for him than the Holy Bull did last time. Now, before I say anything else, I do want to comment that I do think Irish War Cry is much the horse to beat in this race. I thought he was very impressive, winning the Holy Bull last time out in his 3-year-old debut, his third career start, in his first attempt around 2 turns. And while it is true that Irish War Cry got away with an easy, uncontested early lead in that race, while I would normally downgrade horses who win after trips like that, I think Irish War Cry is by no means a horse that needs to lead to win. And I think he could be equally, if not more effective coming from off the pace, which is a good thing because there's a ton of early speed in this Fountain of Youth, unlike the Holy Bull. And that means Irish War Cry is going to have to close. And that's when post position comes into play here. And I'm just a little bit afraid with the short run to the first turn and with Irish War Cry drawn toward the outside here, that he could get caught 3 wide around the first turn and maybe be locked in to a wide trip all the way around the racetrack. Whereas Gunnevera, he didn't have the pace really to his favor last time in the Holy Bull. I mean, it was slow and controlled by Irish War Cry. And Gunnevera was, I thought, hustled a little bit in the early stages just to remain within close striking distance. And then he steadied on the rail in the far turn, which cost him some momentum. And then he angled out, and he was a willing second. Soundly beaten second, but a willing second. I think this race sets up better for him. He's cozily drawn in the 2-hole. And I just think that, he's a very viable alternative to Irish War Cry, who's going to be a short price.
We got a few other interesting entrants in this spot. Chad Brown has the seasonal debut for the 6th Practical Joke. Todd Pletcher tries dirt for the first time with the 9 Made You Look. Kieran McLaughlin trucks on with the number 10 Takaful. You'd imagine he'll be forwardly placed throughout, if not outright on the lead. Anyone else in here that you want to try to hook up with Gunnevera?
Well, Practical Joke is a very nice horse. The question is whether he really wants 2 turns. And I think this is going to be in a very important race for him. Would I bet any kind of significant money on Practical Joke in this spot? No, I wouldn't. I didn't like the way he made a move in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile, his first attempt around 2 turns, and then failed to sustain it. I just have a sneaking suspicion that he might be best as a 1-turn horse. Takaful is really weird. I mean, he was so impressive winning his first start, and he was so awful in his next 2 starts. I mean, he was bad. I mean, he stopped badly in those races, and it's so much unlike Kieran McLaughlin to go on with a horse in stakes races who just run inexplicably poorly in his last 2 starts if there wasn't a good reason. It's just out of his nature. And one of these days, it might not be in this spot, but one of these days, Takaful is going to show everyone why Kieran McLaughlin is pressed on with him in stakes races. I think that he's a good horse. He's eventually going to get worked out. Maybe he'll get worked out to the point good enough on Saturday where he can get a piece of this race.
Race 13, Gulfstream Park, Saturday afternoon. Plenty of graded stakes action. The Grade 2 Fountain of Youth, mile and 16th on the main track. The winner locks themselves in points-wise anyway to the Kentucky Derby. Mike, you're going to go with the number 2, Gunnevera, Antonio Sano, Javier Castellano. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to look at the other big 3-year-old prep this coming Saturday. That's going to be up here at Aqueduct. It's going to be the Gotham.